Oh man, I've got something special for you today. And how I even got this thing on a hoist. It was fun. Turn it around, try this, try that, because it's very, very narrow. Okay, so a gentleman turns up with an older vehicle. What is it? 1938, the second last year of production, Austin 7, also known as the Baby Austin. 750 cc's. It goes, it drives, it's being restored. It's an incredible little vehicle. Transverse front leaf spring, so when you drive along here, they can wallow a bit like that. The big brass handle crank on the front. It has had some modifications done to it, where it's now got telescopic rear shock absorbers on it as opposed to dampeners. We have got cable operated rear brakes, cable operated front brakes. No ball joints on these, people. They have kingpins, and telescopic front shock absorbers on this too. So what I have to do, or what Grasshopper and I have to do, is to build from here, back under the vehicle, invent an exhaust system, mount it where there is nothing to mount it to, and exit the rear. We've been asked to do it in 1.5 inch. Standard, they have an 1.5 inch engine pipe and 32 millimeters or 1.25 inch muffler. They are only a 750 cc engine. This one originally had a 3 main bearing crankshaft. It's sort of poof, and now it has a rebuilt 2 main bearing crankshaft. And according to the customer from Gundaya, these are actually a better engine. So hey, alright, so there you go. Bit of a look round. We have got the 475 by 16 rubber razor blades, of course made by Olympic way back in the day. These won't be seeing the road the way they are. They're very rotted in the rubber. It is not a rush job. It is to be done as I see fit and invent on the go. So yep. Oh, get the light out from behind me. Sorry about that. Yep. Bit of an interesting one, and bit of a design idea. You'll see I was given a donor system. Absolutely can't use any of it, but anyway, you'll see it later. You like the older cars? I love them. They're great. Especially when you look at just how heavy duty some of the things are. How's that for a diff? Yay. Lovely. Time to start working on this 1938 Austin 7. What's going to happen is I've marked the existing engine pipe here. I'm going to remove it from the vehicle, cut it off and reinstall it if it is strong enough. If not, then I'll take it back to the plate and I'll have to remake all of this, but I believe that will be strong enough and it's going to come down and back. But I don't want to cut it off on the vehicle because I want to inspect all of that tubing that goes up there. So that's a good job for Mr. Grasshopper. It's only held on with 2 little nuts and bolts at the moment, which are way up there somewhere. Yeah, yep, there they are. There's one. And there's another one up there somewhere. Anyway, it can come off the vehicle now and be trimmed up. I'll check the plate, make sure it's nice and flat. If not, I'll linish it, put it back up and give me a good starting point to work on. Well, into the working parts of the engine, and aren't they an amazing thing? Back when you had grease nipples everywhere. A really, really effective looking radiator, and let's go and scare the pedestrians. How's that for a horn? Obviously a side valve with huge spark plugs, but they need to just remove those 2 nuts and bolts there. See that? That's a side drive carburetor. And that is a trap door that comes over, and that is the choke. Really, really interesting thing. I've never seen one quite like that, but there we go. That's how it works. All right. And they say, oh, ignition leads aren't real strong. Nothing wrong with those ones. And the starter motor is up the top, unless of course that's your generator. I haven't had a look on the other side yet. Okay, carrying on. Mr. Grasshopper's going to undo those two. I'll catch the pipe work and we can go from there. This is the engine pipe after it's been trimmed up, and I've just linished it. It's not perfect. And it's got years of carbon and oil and stuff in it, so it's just still a bit smoky. That won't worry me too much. The gentleman said, you know, I can use these parts if I wanted, but having looked at it, I really don't think I want to. It's not really my cup of tea. Anyway, this one here can go back up and we'll build from there back. It has got a double-sided copper gasket with fibre in the middle, so I'll just put that up gently without disturbing it too much, and build from there back. Oh, what a lovely car. Well, that's our starting point, and now we've got a young Mr. Grasshopper over at the bender doing what's known as freehanding. So no patterns, nothing written down, inventing as he goes. And he's remembered to plug the end so it doesn't crush. Let's see how well he goes. Oh no, he bent it! Righto, how many degrees did you put in that one?
15.
How much more are you going to put in?
Another 15.
Which will make?
30.
Yay. Let's see what happens. Okay. And go back over to the car and hold it up and see what goes on. I'm going to allow for it to slide over it, but he's got the general idea of the angle, and he knows that it's got to come down to about there. So next thing he could do is expand it, sit it over and see what we look like, and we can always add more degrees later. Well, this is the part of the machine he's going to use where the arbor has got a set of segment fingers on it, and when that goes back out, the taper of it forces these out, which expands the tubing. More using the feel of the hand than the eyes. And sliding in there a little bit. You know, I might just square that off for him a little bit. Until you gain a little bit more experience in just guessing angles and just getting them somewhere right, don't be afraid to use a miter. That's what they're for. Just going to line it up with that and bend it. And when those two angles match the shoes, we know we've done the right amount. I'm going to guess somewhere around 26 degrees myself. How far are we going? Yeah, yep. Ha ha ha, Muffman wins. Okay. We'll hold it back up now and have a bit of a look. We'll see what we look like. So what we're using is a torpedo muffler. It's not just a hot dog, even though it's got HD on it. Hot dog 15175B. So 15 inch long, 1 3/4 inch baffled. And we're going to adapt to that. Because down in there, when I get my little, oh look at that, click bait, ha ha ha. Right, get the little light down in there. See, it's actually baffled. That's a tri-flow muffler. It goes down, back and out again. Even though it's very small, and it's in the body of a torpedo. So to adapt it, what we have done is expanded the other end, which goes in there, giving us just a little bit of movement so we can angle it nicely and weld that into part of an assembly. But first, the devil's toothpaste. Scrumdiddlyumptious sodium silicate. Tastes nothing like chicken. So why is it clamped there? Well, you've got to allow for suspension travel, and going straight up, it misses it, and you don't want to be having this hang down, because when the weight's on it, it'll come up a little bit, even though it'll miss. Yeah, just want to have it nice and high. We're now going to attach the torpedo baffle muffler in here. I've got it coming up a little bit higher than down low because I want to get the body of the torpedo up nice and high. So it's ground clearance, even though they're quite a high vehicle for what they are. Yeah, I like ground clearance. And believe it or not, when they say, okay, put your foot in the floorboards, we have floorboards, they're wood. So the muffler's all up in place now. It's a slip-in assembly. Comes back to here. We have the original BMC Austin style rubber mount here. I don't know what was originally on these. This thing was built in 1938, and I was built in 1961, so what does that tell you? But I've made sure it's adjustable left and right, up and down, and clamped on, not welded on. The tar pipe, which goes up and over with heaps of diff clearance, and I've checked it with the weight of the wheels on the ground and me sliding under it. We've got, twice that for diff travel. Clears everything, mounted up to where there was really nowhere in particular to mount it. Reused a non-used part of bracketing, large rubber strap. Again, I can adjust this up and down or whatever, left, right, by moving these. Sitting out just a nice little bit there from the car, and there we go. Alright, time to drop it down and see if I can start the engine. That'll be good. Never tried to start one of these. Okay, in through the suicide door, and we'll start him up. It really is a tiny little car. Almost new though, 5,015 miles. I love that. Warning at 30 miles an hour. Could be about right. Could be a little bit hairy, driving it much faster than that, because of just how narrow they are. Okay, so choke out part way, and no starter buttons in these. You pull a knob. Ignition is on. Very nice. Okay, not choked up, only a little engine, but to get the size of the muffler where we needed it, we went for a baffled torpedo style muffler. Wow, amazing. So in Maryborough, Queensland, if you've got something like this you want taken care of, give me a call. Area 07 4121 6733. Don't say, oh, how much for this? Product plus time, like anything I build. Thanks very much for watching, and I appreciate everybody who watched it all the way to the end rather than 10-second views. It helps to boost up the channel, which is what I'm trying to do, and share it. You know, somebody likes all the vehicles, whether they own one or not, give them a bit of a look. Some interesting things about the machinery on this car. very, very cold engine. It's not in tune yet. Big run up. Lots and lots of choke. That's the choke there, literally a door that comes across the carburetor. All loaded up and away she goes. Another very happy customer, and that makes me happy. I like it when I can help people out. And he's telling me that there's just so many parts you can still get for these. The tyres, you saw they're full of dry rot. Tyres for these are made in Pakistan and then exported to England, and he's got to buy the tyres from England. So there we go. Things can be achieved. Sometimes you've just got to go a little bit around the mulberry bush to get what you need. Oh, that morning sun's vicious. Okay, thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment. If you liked seeing the video, give me a little like, costs you nothing. Just down the bottom there, it's a little like. If you are not following me on Facebook, please follow me on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing. The vast percentage of people that watch my videos are not following and are not subscribing. Well, a little disappointing. Especially when I see so many people watching a video for like 10 or 15 seconds. Like 85-90% of people click off after 10 seconds. Why are you watching the video if you're doing that? I'll put the content in for you. Please enjoy the whole lot. Sometimes little gems hidden between the front and the back, and you never know where. Thanks for watching. See you later.